Doing the key tool every day and continually eventually leads you to your harmonious twin flame union that births your physical relationship and mission business. And then what? 1. You may experience a large after arrival healing. For sure, because you have come in a consciousness state, in a state of being, in other words, that is so high vibrational on the ascended level, and to maintain that, you have to, well, first of all, keep on doing the same inner work as you did before. So that may be like like a little bit of a letdown already for you, like a disappointment. Really? I really need to do inner work when I'm in the state of being of harmonious twin flame union? Really? Well, yes, you do. You still do inner work because it is a state of consciousness. It is definitive. You truly click into it, but you also keep on transforming from that place out to perfection. I think that's what we can call it. And I also call it gold consciousness. So you just keep on rolling. And you're at the same time, you're maintaining this vibration because things will come up. Things will come up that ask for healing. Things will come up specifically on a large scale and deeper than ever when you are in harmonious union. So let's use that shorter term, harmonious union. Because now you're ready, because now you've arrived. And I think for many people, and for me this helped us, this worked as well like this, that what came up was actually the early childhood attachment traumas, or not entirely perfect attachment, and that was done over. So this is a normal phase in psychological development of any child, baby, toddler, child. You know, when you grow up in that stage, you go through certain psychological developments, and they often don't go ideally, and that is where a lot of our lack mindsets come from, but especially also our difficulties with relating and our difficulties with love and our difficulties to let divine love manifest itself as the relationship with your ultimate lover that is your twin flame. Many things that are blocks stem from that time, and that it did not go perfect, and yeah, often it can really be called a trauma. Whether we like that word or not. Okay, so that is what you will repair now. And you know, when you right now already go to a psychologist, for instance, or a coach to work on these kinds of things, because sometimes people are very aware of that, and good for you. So what is the difference? That is that it will come up. Potentially, probably, it has for me. I've seen it for the other people that I guided. It will come up in such a way that you need to work through it. You can't postpone it anymore. You can't deny it any longer. You can't not do that piece of healing work that is waiting for you, fully and to completion, when you want to stay in that harmonious union space with your true twin flame. So you keep on doing the inner work. These kinds of things come up. You will work through it when you want to maintain that. And it's perfect. It may sound like, oh, but now I'm just sort of set up for it. You know, I can't escape it anymore. It doesn't sound nice. Well, it is set up by the divine in collaboration with your soul, so that you can't, indeed, escape it anymore. And that is because the most loving thing for you is to move through it and come out of it purified, so that now you can fully relate in a psychological sane way within the divine love of union, of harmonious union. And that is amazing. You do want to experience that with everything that you are and everything that you have, with your full psychology. So don't be afraid of that. It's really loving that this happens. So maybe for you it will be a large other kind of after arrival in harmonious union kind of healing, but I will guarantee you that there's actually a pretty big healing wave that comes after it. And that's beautiful because now you are ready to go through that one. And it is here to love you. Because you will just go to this place where all these things have definitively been worked through. You never have to revisit that topic ever again, because that's what this state of being of harmonious union does for you. When you would be in an actual relationship with a twin flame, indeed, directly, immediately, when you are in the state of consciousness of harmonious twin flame union, then you will work that out with the two of you together. Like start up fights, sometimes even start up problems. How do we relate kind of issues and work through that to completion? Which is the same, because what are start up problems for a couple? Well, that is, how do you relate? How have you been programmed to relate? And can you now heal that to completion so that we can relate very intimately, on the most intimate level possible, because this is how it's meant to be in a divine love union. When you would not yet be in an actual intimate relationship with a true twin flame at that moment, that is possible. That does not entirely collide in one moment. There can be a little bit of a lag or a little bit of a, but it can also be that you're already in this relationship before harmonious union as a consciousness state hits. And it can also be that the harmonious union consciousness state hits and there's a little bit of a lag until you can also come into this physical space together that we normally call a relationship. So it depends a little bit. It happens at once, and that is guaranteed that it will happen for you when you persist with the inner work in the community and in the care of a teacher. And that it physically will happen for you is also guaranteed. But that is not necessarily always tomorrow at noon, both of it at the same time. Because for practical reasons, the first thing can happen on Monday and the next thing can happen on Tuesday. Sometimes more practical. That's individual. Okay. So this large wave of after arrival healing, welcome it in. And you will enjoy so much what you are creating in your soul together with the divine. It's beautiful, indescribable. So what happens when you arrive? 2. Make sure you don't fall back and out of it. Oh boy, there we go. This is so sad, but it happens. When people arrive in harmonious union, they have everything. They have gone through the revelation process of their true twin flame. They have their state of being, their state of consciousness. They have everything about their twin flame that they need and about themselves that they need. They know who it is, unequivocally, fully determined. No question about that forever after anymore. They know what this means. They feel the harmonious union energy. They understand that they still do inner work and that they can now also start to build on the life with their true twin flame. Yet they fall out of the state of being of harmonious union, and sometimes also physically walk back, psychologically go back to the false twin flame that they perhaps had before. Go back to the relationship with that false twin flame, potentially as well. It's so saddening. It pains my heart, but it happens. I've seen it a couple times. But this doesn't need to be you. You can be the one that stays in harmonious union. You can be the one that sticks with it. You can be the one in our growing circle of friends here that hold each other's hand and commit to this beautiful place that you don't want to leave. But sometimes there is still a lot of seemingly power in the old thing that starts to pull at you again. That's an illusion, but you may believe that. And that belief, that illusion starts to creep in, oh gosh, and you just spiral out. You spiral out. And I don't wish that for you. When you find your answer, stick with it. Commit to it even deeper, even after arriving. Yes, there can be challenges after having arrived. I went through challenges. What I'm talking about is what I went through as well. I know that it can be difficult. I know what the healing wave that starts after harmonious union entails. I have been through that entire wave. The redoing of my attachment phase, for instance, is one of the things that I have gone through after that. More things, but I can't tell you everything in one video. Yes, it can take a while. Yes, letting go of your ego is what this is. But the only one that is painful too is the ego. But the self shines. The self, the soul, is where you relate to your twin flame and to the divine and to your true identity. Stick with that. We can hold hands in our community and just support each other. It's easy then. It's absolutely joyful. So let's do that when you arrive. 3. The journey becomes a memory. Oh gosh, that was one of the things that was for me so strange. It was so strange. It was so strange in so many ways that the journey was now over. I mean, there is like this huge sigh of relief, right? This sigh of relief that took more than a moment. It took hours, it took weeks, it took months, it took a couple of years before I finally breathed that whole sigh of relief out. And one of the strange things was that the journey became a memory. I could so vividly remember like the intense yearning that I had felt for 20 years basically, or I mean more than that. The intense longing and desire and the searching my brain and searching the world and searching for clues of the universe, following them, following them, doing some inner works, of course. But the yearning and the feeling some sort of off, but also very much desireful. And being like wrapped in a knot between both, which was deeply uncomfortable and at the same time deeply and profoundly, longing. That longing was there to resolve that fully and completely, definitively forever after, because I knew what I was on the way towards, but this entire inner turmoil of that yearning and the not having released the ego yet, the tension yet, the search yet, was still there. And all the adventures that I went on, all the adventures that you will have gone through, will now be a memory for you. A memory that is starting to float away. It is just something that makes you laugh out loud at a certain moment. You will experience it. It is so humoristic at a certain point, and it just diminishes. It just floats away like a leaf on the lake, carried by the bubbling of water, until you can hardly remember it, until it is actually such a faint memory that something else takes over. Something else that comes in. The true value kicks in. The true divine love takes in all that space. And it's light, it's spacious. It's a space you can breathe in freely and deeply. It's a space in which you can relate to everything that is of deep value to you, in yourself, the divine, in your true twin flame. 4. You start to actually build the foundation for your life and mission together. True. Because now you found that foundation that can't be shaken anymore when you maintain it, because we have seen that sometimes people don't maintain it. This foundation is now completely inside of you, and you can start to build on it. But it will first, potentially, I think, for me it happened like that, first feel like you're building that foundation even more. You're just getting to work to make your foundation in your mission department, in your work, and finding what can support you there and making that come true. You're going to find a place to live together as well, and where you can base your love life and your relationship and your family life. You're going to look for how to finance that. You're going to look for how can I maintain my state of being and add more peace and more peace and more peace, and how can I move through this after harmonious union healing wave with grace and care about myself. So how can I have a daily schedule and a weekly schedule that is really tailored to my needs in this specific place, in this journey. And commit yourself to that. Commit to every day taking care of your inner needs fully until it feels complete. You are going to work with your body. You're going to work with your health. You're going to look for the right kind of food and drink. And you're going to establish a whole pattern that is so supportive for your physical relationship with yourself. And this is all the broadening and the deepening of your foundation. Yeah. And then, when that is established, the building actually starts only then. And that can be, in that mission business, really reaching out to new people, adding people to your children, to your family, really making your relationship with your true twin flame bloom by getting on beautiful dates together that you now have some money for. So you have a beautiful small holiday together and you really celebrate your love. But before it's there, you can start to build on the foundation for that inside your harmonious twin flame union. And that's beautiful, and that will happen immediately after you have arrived. So I hope that helped. And I do talk about some memories of my journey that are actually quite funny, because they show how much of a blunderer I was. And I want to share this story with you because you don't have to make these mistakes that I did. And I will do that in this video that will come in here in a couple of seconds. And I will see you there.